Good day everyone, I'm Kian Chesterana Luison and I will be discussing about what is a good life. Before we start our discussion, I have two questions here for you to answer. The first question is, what is your stand about the good life? The second one is, how can you say when you're living in a good life? I will give you a short time for you to think your answer and later you'll find out if it's right or wrong. Now let's start our discussion. Principle of Plato and Aristotle in attaining good life. In high school, we already tackled about who is Plato and now let's recap our understanding and knowledge about Plato. Plato is an ancient Greek philosopher of the classical period who is considered the foundation thinker in Western philosophy and an innovator of written dialogue and dialect forms. Now we are done into recap, now let's dive into the principle of Plato. According to Plato, the task of understanding the thing in the words runs parallel with the job of truly getting into what will make the soul flourish. Meaning, the pursuit of knowledge about the world is interconnected with the quest for soulful growth and flourishing. Understanding the world and nurturing the soul go hand in hand. Next, in attempt to understand the reality of the external world, man must seek to understand himself too. It means that individuals must also explore and comprehend their own inner self. Self-awareness is essential for comprehensive understanding of reality. According to Plato also, there are world of form and world of matter. Plato claims that despite the reality of change, things remain and they strain their ultimate oneness. Meaning, although things in the world undergo change, they still possess an enduring essence of essence that defines their true nature. Lately, I mentioned word of matter and word of form. Now, let us discuss it. First, what is word of matter? Things are changing and impermanent. Meaning, things are in constant state of change and impermanence. Object and phenomena undergo transformation and do not possess permanent or fixed qualities. Now, let's dive into the word of form. Entitles are only copies of the ideal and models, and the forms are the only real entities. What does it mean? Meaning, physical entities are considered to be mere copies, imitation of ideal and perfect models. The form which represent the ultimate reality are true and genuine entities. Now that we are done about Plato's principle, now let's dive into Aristotle's principles. I hope that every one of you can still remember who is Aristotle and some of his word or works. Aristotle gave a distinction between the theoretical and practical sciences. Theoretical discipline, Aristotle include logic, biology, physics, and metaphysics. In practical discipline, Aristotle include ethics and politics. Aristotle categorized theoretical disciplines into logic, biology, physics, and metaphysics. These disciplines encompasses the study of reasoning, living organism, the natural world, and fundamental nature of reality. In practical discipline, involve the study of moral behavior, decision-making, and the organization of society. These disciplines focus on guiding human action and shaping the collective well-being of individuals and communities. According to Aristotle, the truth is the aim of theoretical sciences. Good is the end of practical ones. Every attempt to know is connected in some way in an attempt to find the good, or as said, the attainment of human flourishing. We have seen how a misplaced or an erroneous idea of human flourishing can turn table for all of us, make sciences work against us rather than for us, and draw a chasm between the search for truth and for good. Aristotle approached the problem of reality from scientific lens. Goal of life is happiness. Now, let's proceed to Nicomachean Ethics 2.2. Nicomachean Ethic is among Aristotle's best known work in ethics. Nicomachean Ethics 2.2, all human activities aim at some good. every art and human inquiry, and similarly every action and pursuit, is taught to aim at some good, and for this reason the good has been rightly declared as that at which all things aim. This means that everything humans do is for the purpose of achieving something good, whether it's art, research, actions, or goals. They're all driven by the desire to achieve a positive outcome. This is why the concept of good is considered the ultimate aim of all human endeavors. What is meant by good life? Living in comfort and luxury with few problems or worries, characterized by happiness from living and doing well content. In addition, a good life means living a fulfilling and meaningful existence, finding happiness and purpose in one's action and relationships. Is anyone familiar with the word eudaimonia? Maybe there are some few of you already heard this word, but now let us discuss it. What is eudaimonia? The word eudaimonia came from the Greek word eu meaning good and daimon meaning spirit. It refers to the good life marked by happiness and excellence, flourishing life filled with meaningful endeavors that empower the human person to be the best version of himself or herself. In conclusion, through experience you can be a better version of yourself. Aristotle view of good life. First one is the activity of soul in accordance with virtue. It refers to engaging in action that align with moral excellence and virtuous behavior. It involves cultivating and practicing virtues such as honesty, kindness, courage, and wisdom in one's thought, action, and interaction with others. Aristotle believed that good for human is maximum realization of what unique to humans. It means achieving highest potential of what makes us unique as individual. The good for humans was to reason well, meaning the good for human is to engage in rational thinking and reasoning effectively. And for the last one, the task of reason was to teach human how to act virtuously and exercise faculties in accordance with virtue. Meaning, the role of reason is to guide human in acting virtuously and developing their faculties in alignment with virtuous behavior. In addition, reason teaches human to act virtuously by providing them with the ability to evaluate and understand moral principles and values. Now, let's proceed to the next slide. Virtuous behavior showing high moral standard, paragon of virtue. Paragons of virtue refers to individuals who embody and exemplify the highest standard of moral excellence and virtuous behavior. They serve as role models and inspire others through their exemplary conduct, demonstrating the value and qualities that are considered admirable and desirable. And here are some of the synonym of paragon of virtue: goodness, virtuousness, righteousness, morality, and so on. Now that we are done in Nicomachean Ethics 2.2, let's proceed in 2.1. According to Nicomachean Ethics 2.1, virtue then being of two kinds, intellectual and moral. Intellectual virtue is the main owes its birth and grow in teaching. For its reason, it requires experience and time. Intellectual virtue is primarily developed through education and learning, as it requires experiences and time to develop reasoning skills. While moral virtue comes about as a result of habit, meaning moral virtue is cultivated through habitual practices, as it involves consistently making virtuous choices and behaving in morally upright ways. In Nicomachean Ethics 2.1, there are two kinds of virtues. The first one is intellectual virtue. Intellectual virtue included theoretical wisdom. Theoretical wisdom refers to the intellectual capacity to understand and contemplate abstract concepts, theories, and knowledge. Also included are the practical wisdom understanding. Practical wisdom Also known as practical understanding, refers to the ability to apply knowledge and make sound judgment in real-life situations. In addition, experience and time are necessary requirement for development of intellectual virtue. Now, let's proceed to moral virtue. Moral virtue, controlled by practical wisdom, ability to make right judgment. It means that practical wisdom guides and directs the application of moral virtues in real-life situation. Moral virtue owed its development to how one nurtured it as habit. Moral virtue can be learned. In addition, moral virtue is cultivated through consistent practice and repetition. Now, let's proceed to happiness to Aristotle. Happiness depends on ourselves, meaning our happiness is not solely determined by external factors but rather it is influenced by our own thoughts, attitude, and actions. According to Aristotle, happiness is the central purpose of human life and a goal in itself. Also depend on the cultivation of virtue. Means that true happiness is achieved through the development and practice of moral virtues such as kindness, honesty, and compassion. A genuinely happy life requires the fulfillment of broad range of conditions including physical as well as mental well-being. Means that happiness is not solely dependent on mental and emotional states, but also on physical health and overall well-being. Happiness as the ultimate purpose of human existence. Happiness is a final end or goal that encompasses the totality of one's life. It is not something that can be gained or lost in a few hours like pleasurable sensation. It is more like the ultimate value of your life as lived up to this moment, measuring how well you have lived up to your full potential as human being. Means that happiness is considered the ultimate goal and purpose of human life, encompassing the fulfillment and satisfaction of all aspects of one's life. That's the end of my part of this report, and Gazaya Baño will continue the rest.
Focus. Science and technology and good life. Science and technology is also the movement towards good life. It makes life better by making us healthier and happier. Like for example, medical advancements like vaccines. It improves our well-being. Next one is science and technology are one of the highest expression of human faculties. It demonstrates how clever and imaginative human can be. For instance, the invention of smartphones showcase our creativity. Science and technology allows us to thrive and flourish if we desire it. It gives us the tools to achieve success and personal development. An example is how educational apps can help us to learn and grow. Science and technology may also corrupt a person. It have the potential to negatively impact how we think and behave. For example, excessive use of social media can also lead us to addiction and unhealthy comparison. And the last is, science and technology with virtue can help an individual to be out of danger. It is when we paired us from harm, or when we paired with moral values, it can shield us from harm. Like for example, is cybersecurity measures protecting our personal information online. So why is it that everyone is in the pursuit of the good life? According to Ernest Yeboah, life is good. It is only our thoughts, choices, and action towards the situation we meet in life each moment of time that makes life look like bad. The same bad situation in life that makes one person think badly inspires another to a noble thing. The same good situation in life that makes one person feel so good to get into a bad situation inspires another person to create another good situation because of the good situation. It is all about thoughts, choices, and action. Life is good and live it well. One must find the truth about the good is before one can even try to locate that which is good. If you want good things to happen in your life, you have to believe good things are possible for yourself. Quit allowing negative and cynical thinking to get in the way of the good life you deserve. And it means that in order to experience good things in life, you need to believe that good things are possible for yourself. So don't let negative thoughts or doubts stop you from living the good life you deserve. It is all about having a positive mindset and believing in the good possibilities ahead of you.
Compared to his teacher Plato, Aristotle puts everything back to the ground and claiming that this world is all there is to it and that this world is the only reality we can all access. Aristotle disagreed with his teacher's position and forwarded the idea that there is no reality over and above what the senses and can perceive. Change is a process. Start as potentialities and move towards actualities. Aristotle extended this analysis from the external world and declared that even human beings are potentialities who aspire for these actualities. Aristotle extended this concept to human beings, stating that humans are also beings with potentialities that strive to actualize their potentials. Human being moves according to some end. Every action emanates from a person is a function of purpose. Telos. Human beings are driven by end or a goal. Every action we take is influenced by a purpose or telos. We all want to be happy. Aristotle claims that happiness is the be all and all of everything we do. Aristotle means in happiness in human flourishing a kind of contentment in knowing that one is getting the best out of life. Happiness for him is synonymous with human flourishing and finding contentment or realizing one's full potential in life. According also to Aristotle, max out his potential in the world. It is about living a fulfilled life and reaching one's highest capabilities. There are 5 goals to attain good life. Number 1 is materialism. Material wealth as the primary source of the meaning in life. This perspective view material wealth and possessions as the main source of meaning and fulfillment in life. It places a strong emphasis on acquiring material goods and financial success. Second is hedonism, obtaining and indulging in pleasure because life is limited. It focuses in seeking pleasure and avoiding pain as the ultimate goal in life. It prioritizes immediate gratification and enjoyment as life is seen as limited and transient. Third is stoicism. Happiness can only be attained by a careful practice of apathy. It suggests that true happiness can only be achieved by practicing apathy or detachment from external circumstances. Fourth is Stoicism. Ultimate basis of happiness is communion and serving God while waiting to return in God. Stoicism holds that the ultimate source of happiness lies in having a deep connection with and serving God. It involves seeking communication with a higher power and finding fulfillment in religious belief and practices. The fifth and the last, humanism, captain of his own ship seeking for the way on how to improve the lives. The reason why technology came across and evolved, whether or not we agree with this technology advancement, they are all undertaken in hope of attaining the good life. The balanced power, however, the good life, ethics, and technology was to be attained. It emphasizes the individual's capacity to improve their own life and the lives of others. It viewed human as the captain of their own destinies and focuses on human potential and progress. This perspective has played a role in the development and evolution of technology, as it seeks to enhance human lives through innovation and advancement. Now that we already finished our topic, can you give your goal or your key that you can think can help you achieve your dreams or achieve good life? For you, how can you maintain it? Comment down below. In conclusion for our topic, to understand what is truly good, one must first seek and discover the truly about it. Only then can one begin to identify and pursue what is genuinely beneficial or desirable. In order for positive things to occur in your life, it is necessary to believe that they are possible for yourself. Don't let negative and cynical thoughts hinder you from achieving the fulfilling life that you deserve. That's all for today. Thank you for listening. See you next time.